It's the lack of identity in the team. It's the lack of idea. The players look clueless. The mentality that's flowing through them players' veins, the confidence that's flowing through them players' veins. The manager looks clueless. The decisions Eric's making, I don't understand. We've got the real deal in Eric Ten Hag. Let me tell you that.
Sunday.
No, it's not. It's Man City, who we beat last year as well at home. That's who it is.
Oh, okay.
Let's have it.
Okay.
Yeah? Let's have it. Yeah? Everyone laughing. Yeah?
He's been
Everyone
taking
laughing.
that
I'll tell you what,
back
mate.
into KG.
We win that game, 3 points off top, mate. 3 points behind them. You all laughed at me.
Going into the Man City game,
Confident.
2-1.
Yeah, man.
2-1 Man United.
2-1.
2-1.
Nah,
What?
come on, I just can't see it. They've got
Whoa,
Rodri
2-1.
back now as well.
2-1.
I just can't see it.
Oh my days, Sanchez is not in goal. Oh my God. Oh no. We're not doing this. We're not doing this, yeah? We're not doing this, yeah? No, we're not doing this. No, we're not doing this. Oh no. Hell no. Oh, no, did that just happen? No, did that just happen? Are you lot out of your mind? Seriously?
There we go.
Hi and welcome along to the weekend roundup. And it's going to be a brilliant weekend roundup today. Joining me on my left-hand side here, Abby. And really entering the spirit of Halloween here. We've got Matisse. Chelsea fan, as we know, but he's in the bees outfit. You know what I mean? They got stung by the bees at the weekend. You right, man? Hi. Hello.
Have you taken your glasses off so you can't see us?
I can't see anything.
We
I don't
got
need to
Alex,
see
AGT in the building as well. Really getting into the spirit of Halloween. And last but definitely not least, Erling Haaland, ladies and gentlemen. We got Flex. Flex in the building.
Saying all Vikings look the same.
Listen, welcome along to the weekend roundup, brought to you today by Optimax. But last week we were all doing our predictions for man of the match and things like that. Who had Haaland for?
Well.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes for.
We didn't have that on the
didn't have
Optimax
that one.
5 last week.
Thank God.
As you know, we have teamed up and we've involved Opta in the weekend roundup show and the preview show as well, the player ratings feature and the new Optimax and Opta 5 games. Listen, we all gave our player of the match predictions. This isn't betting, by the way, just to be clear on that at home. This is a prediction app. Anyone can play it all around the world, any age. So it is not a betting. I know there was a couple of comments after last week. But as part of this, as you know, we're going head-to-head on the league, on the DR Sports Optimax League, where you have to correctly predict the player of the match. Now, we're looking back at today, Crystal Palace v Spurs, Chelsea versus Brentford, Arsenal, Sheffield United, West Ham, Everton, and Aston Villa, Luton. As we know, if you correctly predict all five, $5,500 is up for grabs on this one. And if no one wins it, it rolls over by $500. You accumulate points throughout the weeks. Then the top 5 in the overall leaderboard at the end of the season, the winner will get a share of $12,000. So you don't want to miss that, right? The Opta Play rating score is attributed to each player out of 100, which is calculated by the real stats, not the AGT stats, the Optimax stats. Good. Can't get them wrong, Flex, right? I don't want to hear nothing about my stats today. They go up to 100. 60 is viewed as an average score, 20 is awful, to be honest, and 100 is what Eddie Nketiah got, mate. 99.9. That's what he got.
How many people would have got him?
Unbelievable, right? Scan the QR code on the screen right now, people, and click the link in the description to join the DR Sports League to go up against us. It's free to play, as I said. You can play anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter where you are, you can get involved. Sign up now. And as I said, $5,500 up for grabs when you involve yourself, right? Let's just look back to see how we got on. So in the Arsenal game, who would have thought it? None of you predicted Eddie.
No.
Hat-trick hero, mate. 99.9 out of 100.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know what he had to do
Should
to get
be 10.
100.
Should be
10. So he was the player of the match in that game. In the Brentford game,
Should be Cole Palmer, but you're going to tell me it's not.
Right, it was Brian and Mbeumo.
I'm
Hey, hold on. I got Mbeumo, didn't
Fair
I?
enough.
You
fair
did,
enough.
mate.
Yeah, you did.
You had
I got
Well
Mbeumo.
done.
Told you, man.
Guess what you got, boys and girls? 86.8. Unbelievable, man.
Mbeumo.
And we'll get into the rest of them later on in the show. But it was a great start to the partnership, and long may it continue, because it's very fun.
Yeah, and I bet loads of you predicted Maddison, didn't you? I think I went
Yes.
against the grain on that one.
Yeah, did Madison get it?
Yeah, he got man of the match.
No, he didn't actually,
No,
Robbie.
it
I'm
was-
going to have to correct
was
you
it
there,
not Van der Ven
unfortunately.
that got it?
It was actually, according to
was it
Optimax,
Son?
it was Sonny.
Oh.
Madison
Van der Ven
posted
got
up a 37.
No, hold on. I got Son as well.
Did you put us on?
I'm sure I went for
Yeah,
Son.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
listen,
you
you've
did.
won
Hey, yo,
again,
listen,
my
man.
friend.
Yeah, but you only got 2 out of
87.5.
how many?
I could be.
Five.
I didn't get any.
You got.
You didn't get
I was just about to dream of
Your
$5.5
own boy, you
grand.
didn't even back him. You know what I mean?
Dollars.
Dollars.
But yeah, Madison had a poor game according to Optimax, but we'll get into the rest of them later.
Yeah, talking of poor games, right? Where shall we start? Right? Should we?
Let's cook people
Should
in
we,
the comments.
Abby, it's up to you ladies first, right? On the, you're
There's only
looking
one
so
place
good
I'm
here on Halloween. So where are we starting?
I've been waiting since 2:30 Saturday to see this boy. Honestly. Well, we need to start with Matisse.
Matisse.
Is this necessary?
Now,
It's necessary.
Is this really necessary?
We need to start with you, honey. We need to start
2-0. I mean, after a very good performance against Arsenal, a performance where you nearly took all 3 points.
They did give up a 2-goal lead against you.
Did give up a 2-goal lead, but a lot of people was really infused about their performance in that game. Come the weekend now, an opportunity now, and I think you said it a couple of weeks ago that this is a game you really needed to win when you look at the games that we've got coming up against
It was a gimme, I
Spurs.
think he
They've
said.
got Man City, they've got
They've got
Newcastle,
They've got Brighton.
Brighton, yeah, I mean,
They've got
so
United. They might win that, but
yeah, lay out that one. Right. Some really, in all seriousness, some really tough games. Got off to a good start in the game. Was playing well, but again, that Achilles heel of not putting the ball in the back of the net and then stung by the bees. First of all, Pinnock with a great header from a set piece, 1-0. And the second goal, I mean, I've watched your video.
Sanchez
Right,
assist, no?
of you saying no. I've watched that about 100 times. I ain't gonna lie, it's been hilarious.
I didn't know what to do.
I mean, what happened?
Head loss. Like the blood was just boiling at that point. Like we can say we did well for the 25 minutes, but apart from that, it was just stale bread. You know when you leave the digestives, the packet open, and then you go in there. And you just the thing just crumbles. That's basically what we did.
the way the
We
cookie
crumbled.
crumbles, right?
Yeah, it's the way the cookie crumbles. We didn't. I've come on here a lot of times and said, you know what, we played well, but we couldn't find our way. No, we didn't play well. We had a good 25 minutes, and that was solely down to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer was fantastic. He created like 2-3 massive chances. He was instrumental. He was the only person that seemed to have any footballing IQ out there. Everybody else was just a mess. But I have to put this on Poch, this one, because he played a flat 4 with Disasi at right back, Kukurea at left back, nobody overlapping, nobody underlapping, nobody to help Madueke and Sterling on the wings. So they were just double tagged, double teamed, constantly. And we didn't create enough chances throughout the entirety of the game. Like we created some chances in the beginning, but then we just stopped. I understood that, from set pieces and long throws, Brentford are a problem. I think they ranked second for accurate crosses. Whoop-de-doo, the cross comes in, we don't defend it, and they score from it. But you've got to have more attacking options in the final third than we had. Gallagher was playing in the left side of midfield. I don't know why. So it was just honestly, it's a disgraceful result to lose at home to Brentford. That's the third time in a row, Robbie. Third time in a row.
I
we've
think
lost
they've
at
won
home
more
to them.
games than you there
I mean, it's not our home.
in the last year or something.
That's a fact.
This calendar year, isn't it?
We've been having this.
Fact check.
It's
Fact
one
check.
win.
Is
that true?
It's one win out of the last 12.
It's true.
So probably
It's true.
it is true.
It's true.
They've beaten us
calendar
there
year.
3 times in a row. West London is not ours.
You said you want to move out.
They're
innit?
just a bus stop. Yeah, because everybody's like, Stamford Bridge and it's our home, and I've agreed all along. It is our home. We're very proud to be in our original location. Very few can say that. Some from Woolwich, some others. And,
Amen.
and then next thing you know, it's not our home. We keep losing, so maybe we should move. It's not our stadium anymore. Maybe it's Brentford's. Maybe we should go to Craven Cottage.
No, it is Brentford's.
Maybe we should go Craven Cottage and share stadium with them. Maybe we should go Wembley. Do you know what I'm saying? We might have more of a chance of winning. We don't win at home anymore. Our home record is actually a disaster. Like, it's nuts.
Might have to go Ted Lasso pitch.
Didn't it go
Wimbledon, yeah. Maybe Kings Meadow. Share the women's stadium.
Selhurst
I don't know.
Park,
We do not win at Stamford Bridge anymore. Like, one win out of the last 12 is horrendous. It's like, what kind of form is that? I've never heard of anything like it in my
you
life.
have
You beat Liverpool 1-0 there.
Do you have to start asking questions about, or is it too early to ask questions about Pochettino?
Oh, no, there's
You know what I mean?
questions. There's
Still 1 billion spent.
definitely
Go ask them.
It's not. He didn't
Run
spend
them
the whole
up, man.
billion.
No, but he's
No, but it's 1 billion
money.
spent. He's got 1 billion worth of talent. I know you've got injuries. He's got £1 billion worth of talent at his disposal, and you can't beat Brentford.
Mate, we're talking
At
about
home.
questions. Yeah, listen, we're gonna get to Man United later, obviously. Yeah, my team's in the mud, but we were going at it. Yeah, the last show. Yeah, and I've got to take any little grace I can get because this is what this show's about. Yeah, and he's talking about the injuries. You know, laughing at me. Didn't even beat Brentford at home. Even we, with how shit we are, yeah.
You got life.
No.
You got life. Don't even try.
No.
If it wasn't for McTomtom, you would not have won that
Doesn't
game.
matter.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. No.
Shameless. You are shameless.
Hold on. Let me.
You are
Let me just
shameless.
move the hair.
One more and you're gone, my friend.
Let me
Just like 10 hard.
Let me just move the hair out the way, yeah. Let me land, yeah.
Mad.
Even as
land.
crap as we are, yeah, we didn't lose at Yard to Brentford because we said nah, we're not letting that. We're gonna find something. Yeah, McTominay was a saviour. Out of your £1 billion squad, there was no inspiring substitutions to come on and save.
Did you see the bench?
Yeah, mate, you spent money on it.
They're injured. What
Don't
can we
matter.
do?
You spent money on it.
Injuries.
Yeah? Right? And then, not only that, not even getting it back to 1-1 would give yourself a dying chance. You conceded 2. Your team can't even beat Brentford at Yard.
Well, do you know
3
what?
times in a row.
I'm
they've
not
come
gonna
and
lie,
messed you
yeah.
up.
I don't even.
Your keeper literally gave him an assist.
I don't care about the second goal. We losing.
Well,
the
it looked like you
gave
did.
him an
think you did,
assist.
I think you did.
I said no.
You went to church on that second goal. You were giving it no.
That's a yellow. I've warned you.
What for?
That's a yellow. Because you said you
lies.
weren't bothered. You were. That's
All right.
a lie.
Well, look,
One more.
You
Right.
lost it.
Seriously,
You
one
lost it,
more.
Let's not lie.
No, I don't want no back chat. One more and you're off, mate.
I don't care. Send me off now, please.
No, don't
Send me off.
Don't.
Send me off.
First 5
Go.
minutes.
Let me go.
First
Go
5
on.
minutes. Let him off.
Send me
Go.
off. No, send me off. Be consistent. Don't.
No,
It's
you
early
good.
in the
be a
game. I
hypocrite.
don't want to ruin it for the audience.
Don't be a hypocrite. Send me
Just
off.
relax, my
Send me
friend.
off.
Calm down.
I'm gonna do it,
otherwise
Anthony.
you will be
I'm
off.
gonna do it, Anthony.
Yeah.
In a minute. Come
Just
over
like try
to
to take man's
He should have
place.
got one of these as well.
I need to ask Matthias because I did ask him this morning and he failed to answer. But I feel like in a pressurised environment he might answer. I said to him, you look at your November up until the 6th of December when they play United. They've got Spurs, they've got Newcastle, they've got Brighton, they've got
City, is it?
City as well,
United,
right? So let's say we get
Newcastle.
to United, which is the 6th of December, okay, and they haven't picked up zilch.
And we're shit, but we
Nil
can still beat them at home.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Hopefully you will. But at this point, let's say they pick up no points, and we're sitting here, 7th of December.
Got to go, mate.
What do you do?
I'm gonna take this wig off. I'm gonna take this wig off. Listen.
It's a
What do you-
serious.
do you
know what's so-
You get sacked.
I said to him, are you still poaching? Because if you are, then
course.
after that another 5-week period, if you have taken 0 points from those games, how are you still poaching at that point? Surely
No,
something has
I mean,
to
They've got to let them stay the whole year.
Listen.
man. They have
Listen.
to.
This
I'm-
is Chelsea.
Listen,
Yeah, but
this is Chelsea.
they gotta change.
Chelsea needs to change.
Yeah.
I am very annoyed with what Poch did at the weekend. I've said it. Like I think some of the decisions that he made with, you know, what he put out there in terms of balance was wrong. But in terms of this fixture list, the funny thing is we fare better against the better teams. Liverpool, we played well. Arsenal, we played well. Brentford was a low block. We traditionally struggle with low blocks all the time. We can't break them down. The teams that you've named are going to leave space. We beat Brighton in the cup. I'm not saying that I'm like mad confident going into these games, but I know we're not going to lose every single game like you're saying, because we actually are
What if you do
we're not a terrible team. What if we can do the what ifs? Listen, if we do, ask me then. But I don't think we will. I don't think we're going to lose every game because, for me, that's just not how football works. Like, I've been watching this team, low blocks. We've very rarely come up against low blocks this season. We've played West Ham, Forest, and Brentford with low blocks. We've lost all of them. When we've played against teams that have had high lines, we've created chances. So
How can you be losing to those calibre of teams?
we just.
Hang on, let's give some credit to
But Brentford do
Absolutely.
deserve
All
credit.
credit.
Wait,
Start
there.
slagging Chelsea.
My man said, Thomas Frank said, didn't even play that good, mate. He said we were average.
That's
he said we weren't.
embarrassing, though.
He said we didn't even play good.
Yeah,
That's
but
what he
shout
said.
out, great finish from
That's a
Pinnock.
real beast.
His interview after was fantastic. The second goal, I mean, you know it's low when your keeper's assisting the other team to finish
Listen,
the game.
at that point, you need a goal. We're trying to do an Alisson against West Brom. It didn't work.
I knew Alisson can do that.
1-0, 2-0, same L you're taking.
Did anyone see
levels to
Matisse?
It's the same L you're taking. I can't lie.
This you have to watch like the stream in detail to find these bits because I was really
You were
invested.
deep-
Yeah,
deep in
I went to bits where the timestamps weren't even there. I just wanted to see what's going on. Yeah, when Neil Maupay got a yellow card when he wasn't on the pitch.
Yeah, that was, the shithousery was insane. Yeah, the shithousery. And then he got outpaced by Sanchez. He nearly mashed up the transition.
But guess
You had to give it to Mbeumo.
He won the game.
Yeah,
And
but he's a
speaking
dead
of
player,
winners,
man.
You know he didn't-
He's a dead player. I agree with Ty. You see Ty who's always cussing him, bruv. Bring Ty in here, man.
Hey,
Let him have a rant about
Moon
Pie, bruv. Moon Pie.
You know what?
Dead player, bruv.
Where's Mo-
Go to the championship, you dead
Matisse,
striker.
right? I know you didn't watch it back on Match of the Day, right?
One more.
But if you'd have watched it back on Match of the Day, it wasn't even him who passed it to him,
Sanchez.
It was Sanchez.
Bro, he's crap. He's actually crap. I don't even know why they bought him. Brentford are they're moving in the right direction as a team, right? Stable themselves, bust up and whatnot. Why they sign this
He
guy?
used to play for them, bro. He's a Brentford legend.
He's crap.
Yeah, but you know what you said before, right? That you struggle against low block teams. I'm sorry, but if you've got a world-class manager, then shouldn't he be able to navigate through a low block team?
Speechless.
He should. Is he,
Just ask.
And
We have to-
let's be real, Matisse,
we have to
right?
define world class,
A team
though.
like Chelsea, you are going to come up against low block teams all
Exactly,
season,
100%.
unless you're
Yeah.
playing
Yep.
your Cities, maybe
Yep.
Arsenal's, Uniteds, and that. You're going to come up against teams.
Yes.
That are gonna, so you've got to start learning to overcome that.
100%. We do, and that's why. Listen, I'm not gonna get into Klopp's methods and positional play, De Zerbi, but the bare minimum I'm asking for is put numbers forward. Like, you need overloads, you need overlapping runs, you need people to combine with, you need to give your wingers options. You need to create decoy runs. You need to get numbers into the box. We can't head the ball, so we can't cross the ball because no one's good aerially. The bare minimum you could do is just get bodies around there, get shots off, deflections.
Deflections.
No, like
what you're looking
deflection. But the thing is, you create your own luck. We didn't create our own luck at the weekend because we didn't take enough
Nico
risks.
Jackson as well,
We
by
didn't
the
create
way.
enough
Got
risks.
shooting, innit?
Martinelli is a prime example against Man City, right? Arsenal were the more positive team against Man City. They created their own luck. We didn't even create our own luck at the weekend because we did not get the ball into dangerous areas and take shots. Like, it was poor.
From the
A very bad
preview,
defeat.
you'll remember that we tried to predict the player of the match. There was obviously hella candidates for the worst
Optimax.
player of the match. Don't know if you guys remember this, but in the Optimax predictions, I said Chelsea would lose and Conor Gallagher would be the best player for Chelsea. Do you remember
He
that?
wasn't the best player though.
He weren't.
Yeah, but okay. So according to Optimax, Cole Palmer 70.2, Conor Gallagher 77.7. So what I predicted
That's a robbery.
happened.
Wow.
Give me my dollars.
What about the other five?
What about the other ones?
Listen, man, that one.
You don't get the dollars for one right prediction, mate.
Yo,
It's a man get one lottery number and
Robbie
he's
got
pulling
more
up.
than you.
Exactly.
No, but I did say that about Gallagher though, and you all
did.
laughed.
Yeah, but we all watched the game and he wasn't the best player.
He was nothing special.
Let me
He
get
was
into
alright.
some super chats. LJ Brown, regular on the show, says LJ. Matisse says, Matisse, how did you let that Diet Coke Mbeumo flex get an assist and goal?
LJ's
It's
got
peak
jokes every
Stamford
week.
Bridge. I mean, Brothwell, he goes at the moment. Todd Miller, big Chelsea fan, also a big fan of the show. He says, if we get smashed by Spurs next week, I'm probably going to take the rest of the year off from YouTube football content. As always, up the Chelsea, says. Shannon Hollis says, Flex and Matisse getting more cooked than a Sunday roast. We love to see it. LJ Brown says, the way Mbeumo and the rest of the United fans are clinging on to the glory years. Glory years is like a walking Malteser. What was that? Stroking the last hair molecule.
The last hair
Last
molecule.
hair molecule of the hair.
That one's out.
Right. Kalindo says, Poch tried to replicate experiment with the Conte back three. What if what I learn is a team, we keep the ball a lot with the back three and there's no space in attack. Our possession goes down and we get attacked on freely. That's what he's saying about.
Well, it wasn't
Chelsea.
it wasn't really a back three. The only thing I would have hoped that he would have done is played Gusto. I don't really understand why Gusto didn't start, but he played Disasi as a right back and he can't cross. He can't.
But why
he can't
didn't
do
he?
nothing,
Why
though.
didn't
Not very
he?
mobile.
Okay,
start
so
right back?
so the thing is, because Brentford physically are, they're a problem. They get balls into the box, they get crosses, knockdowns. They went long. They didn't play out from the back too much. I think he wanted to have height in the team. He wanted to have the three centre backs. But for me, I've seen us I think if Colwell had played left back, he was afraid that Mbeumo would have cooked him, which he may have.
Well,
He may have done that.
86.8 player of the match, Brian Mbeumo.
Yeah,
Some
so
performance.
and we've seen Colwell struggle against Salah, Antonio in wide areas. So he had like a conundrum as to whether to go Colwell at left back and play Gusto, or Cucurella at left back, who played pretty well, and play Disasi right back. But he needed to put someone there.
Tom, repeating that stat that you guys both gave, that since April 2023, Brentford have won more games at Stamford Bridge than Chelsea. They've won 2, Chelsea have only won 1. That is an unbelievable
That's
stat.
mad.
Masum
That's
says
mental.
United lost, so
Give him
Matisse
another one.
must be buzzing, he goes.
had to wear
LJ Brown
2
says
outfits
Chelsea
today.
can't finish like Jim from American Pie. Just left here on the chair with pure disappointment. Right. Kyra Bitsy, whoops. I'm trying to get as many of these in as possible. Says November the 7th, the world will wake up to a new league leaders. We will make sure normal service is resumed. 3 Point Lane is back. I wouldn't guarantee that, mate.
Wait.
I wouldn't guarantee
Yellow
that.
food.
Who's talking?
That'll be a Chelsea fan.
He's a Chelsea fan, obviously.
Trying to pollinate.
No, he sounds like a Tottenham fan.
No, 3 points.
No, a Chelsea fan, sorry. Yeah,
Point
yeah.
Lane.
S says, breaking news, Chelsea right back, 2 lucky goals versus Arsenal. DH says, what costume is Robbie wearing? Is that the Premier League Cup? Listen, we won 5-0, so I've been able to dress up as the king today.
Right,
Yeah?
okay. I'm not sure if that... Well, actually, I'll check on that.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll check.
You're not the
Sure.
king because you haven't won in 20 years at Premier League and you've never won a Champions League. So, false.
Talk that talk.
False.
Talk that talk.
We won 5-0, yeah?
Against Sheffield United.
Listen, you ain't even played them yet.
And they're not top.
The way
They're not
you
actually
lot
top.
play.
They'll mash you up, bro.
Let me tell you
Don't chat
something.
about them.
Let me tell you something. I'll tell you one thing, right? When it comes to low block, they do the ultimate low block. So, you know what I mean? You know, and Chelsea and Man United fans arguing about who is worse is the content that I love to see. He says COYS, that's LOE. And great show, guys. Big Six and Skulls. See you, Ma, says Jozique. And Puska says AGT needs some props. PGMOL for Halloween is so class.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Big up to AGT.
I don't even feel like we've cooked you enough, you know.
We ain't cooked him enough, really, innit? I mean, he's cooked himself by wearing that B outfit. I mean,
I did
himself when the
try
second goal went in.
and go against it.
you
but-
did say
Give
the
me-
other day about the 20-odd points,
21 points.
21
and Chelsea are back and all that.
Yeah, how many points you taking out of the next 5?
He's waving the flag, the mercy.
Just how many points you taking out of the next 5?
Anyway.
I don't know. I don't know. I just.
know.
I at this point,
know.
after losing at home to Brentford, which I did say was a gimme, and I did say that we needed to win that and we must win it, and I stand by
2-0.
that.
2-0 you
I stand
predicted.
by that because you
Right.
do have to win that game. I'm afraid. You know, I'm not dropping my standards to a point where I'm not saying that we should be beating Brentford at home. If we're not going to beat Brentford at home, that's their business. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to keep saying that we should because we should. So. The fixtures we have coming up, I have to actually, say it's going to be tough. Like, let's see what the points tally is saying at the end of that.
So
But
how many
what
points
happens
do
to
you
you
think?
think?
You
Give
can't
us
get away
give
with
us a
this.
number.
You should be a
Why do you guys want
the way
numbers?
this man dodges questions.
You
Why
gave
do
us
you-
a clear number the other day.
yeah,
Yeah, when it was on his terms.
yeah, that didn't work. That didn't work out.
Get a number, please.
5 games next.
5 games, 15 points available. How
I can
many
go
will
back
you
through the
take, my
fixtures
friend?
should you wish.
Gonna have to push you for time, Matisse.
Time wasting.
you're already on a yellow as well. Remember,
Let's say we take a nice 7 points.
7 points.
two wins
Two
and a
wins and a
draw,
draw. Yeah,
and
Okay.
a couple of L's as well.
Okay.
yeah.
Let's move it on.
Oh God. Oh gosh.
My good God.
This is
Manchester United, 0.
Manchester City, 3. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it was. I was saying to Flicks off camera that I was almost, as a neutral watching a game, a bit disappointed on how one-sided it was. I thought normally at Old Trafford, I get it.
Well, you all predicted it, didn't you?
3-0, yeah.
4-0.
I said 3-0, yeah.
3-0.
No, I
So what are we shocked for then?
Hold on, I predicted
How
3-1.
bad?
What's going on here?
I thought it'd be a battle.
Everyone
But
predicted this.
I thought
Gave you a goal.
I thought it'd be 3-1. I thought it'd be a battle, but it weren't. They just literally just bopped all over you. I mean,
Embarrassing.
you was at the game. Talk to us. What was it like? What were the United fans feeling after that? Because it was an embarrassing defeat to your neighbours, the noisy neighbours.
Pathetic. That's what it was. It's no desire, no fight. Everyone knows how good City are. But Man United are pathetic right now. They're a mess. They are. And it's for a multitude of reasons. But you have to call out a lot of what we're seeing. You have to call out the players. You have to call out the manager. Some of the decisions Erik ten Hag's making are just near on stupid. It's facts. Some of the things he's saying in the press conferences don't make sense.
Tactics.
The substitutions that he's making don't make sense. Leaders, senior players who are supposed to be leaders, Bruno Fernandes,
Disgusting.
awful, petulant, cowardly, like all of the above. Marcus Rashford's supposed to be a linchpin, supposed to be the person that we look to, not putting it in. And the players that have been ridiculed for ages, people like Maguire, people like Evans shouldn't be there, you know, they're the ones that it's not even about them. It's way bigger than that. And everyone's talking about the thing with Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville, who's right. And so they're both right. They're both right. Essentially, Man United is a graveyard for anybody who walks into it. So there is a deep-rooted systemic problem at Man United, obviously, because that wouldn't happen. So that comes from the top. However, just because you've walked into that mess, that doesn't give you a free pass. We have to see something. And I think it's important to stay calm and let the evidence gather before you make mad, rash decisions. But Ten Hag signings that he's brought in, you know, they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. Like, we talk about needing to get rid of players and change the culture at the football club, which Ten Hag's trying to get a grip of, but he's brought in 6, 7, 8 players. There's no difference. There's no difference. And then you're talking about, okay, if you can't play your style of football, you can't play how you want to play, make us compact then.
What is
Make
his
us
style?
difficult to beat then.
What
He
is
doesn't
his
know.
style?
Ten Hag has no idea what our style is. He was asked yesterday, when are we going to see the Ajax Ten Hag? He said never.
He said never.
He said never. He said that was with them players. I have a different set of players here. We'll play differently.
He's got a lot of the same.
We've brought in half of those players, though.
You've
So
brought
why-
in players from Eredivisie
league, yeah.
to replicate that style. You banged on the door and said, get me Anthony at whatever cost. I know the reason why we had to pay more for him might not be his fault, but you wanted the player. Trash. You wanted Lisandro Martinez. Fair enough, he's been out of injury. He's actually been okay. You wanted Mason Mount. I'm trying to make a case for Mason Mount to say, look, let's calm down. Let's give this kid a chance. You're not even using him. At half-time, you're making constant substitutions to undo mistakes that you've done in the plan and that you've had to prepare for that game. So that means you're admitting defeat at half-time. Then he said after that as well that he made a mistake bringing Mason Mount on. So which is it? So, look, there is no positivity at Man United right now. They are going in no direction. They are going nowhere fast. They are regressing. But there is a way bigger problem than just Erik ten Hag. We can go and get De Zerbi tomorrow and let Brighton pull our pants down and pay a big fee like you did for Potter. It wouldn't change a thing.
But hold on, right?
It would in the short term, but in the long term, no, it
Look
wouldn't.
at, much as I hate to praise them,
Yep.
yeah, Tottenham, they've got big problems with their owners. There's been lots of stuff, at the end of last season, all of the Tottenham fans saying, they want Levy out and get
you
rid
guys
of
as well.
the board. What, Levy out?
No, I mean,
we wanted to
Arsenal
stay.
wanted Kroenke out, but look how
Yeah,
you've
no,
got
but
an idea.
no,
and
but
you turned it
there's
around.
been more of a reason in our one, right? Because there's been a bit of a switch, like the ownership getting, the
the
Kroenkes getting the full ownership and then really investing. But with the Tottenham situation, nothing's really changed with the ownership.
Yes,
have
just
they?
the manager.
Yeah.
But they brought in a guy, and then all of a sudden, there's a new identity to the team. So he's made good signings like Van der Ven and Maddison and these people that have come in, and immediately, even when we played Tottenham, immediately I looked at them straight away when that game after about the first 20 minutes, and I said, hey, they're different to how they've been in the last few seasons. That's even how they're trying to play. They're playing brave football. So I don't think we can keep using that with United and saying, obviously there's big problems above with Glazers and takeovers and that. But Ten Hag like you said, he's brought in a lot of his own. He's had longer.
18
Even
months.
when I look at Unai Emery, you see an
what he's done in a
identity
year.
at Aston Villa. You just said about De Zerbi, you see what De Zerbi's identity is. That's the one thing that's been baffling me for a little while with Ten Hag, is that I knew, obviously, when he was at Ajax, but I just don't see what is he trying to do at United.
He's got an identity crisis because he's panicked in situations, and now he looks like he doesn't know what to do next. And the problem is that he's bought players for a specific style that he wanted to play. He's aborted that style now, and now those players don't fit what he's trying to do, and he's stuck at a crossroad. He's taken on some big players.
It's embarrassing. You can't have a manager that sits there and says, I actually don't know what my style is, what my philosophy is. How is that going to give anyone in the fan base, the dressing room, any clarity or want to back this manager? And also, Alex and I were covering the game yesterday when we were on DR, and like, that was a derby. Don't you know, I've seen Spurs not turn up in a North London derby, and it pisses you off more than anything. But you
Not at home.
Well, no, last year we didn't turn up when you beat us 3-1.
You put more effort in
but
than
there
what
was
I
more
saw.
effort. But
Scored.
yesterday at home, from minute 1, you were not on it. You looked like you just didn't care. Like, the only person, and we said it, one of the only people that looked like they played for the badge was actually McTominay. He was the only one. I thought he was your best player yesterday.
And
Onana was our best player yesterday.
Onana was the best player. Amrabat as well was putting in.
In terms of players that were like doing stuff all around the pitch, it was McTominay for me. And I think it is embarrassing because you don't even want him.
And he was trash as well, I think, for most.
You don't even
the
want him
first
at your
15,
club.
20 minutes, before the penalty happened, City had a couple chances, but the game plan was to try and get counter-attacks and make them count. They had a couple of half chances in the counter-attack transition where they made the wrong pass, didn't quite make the right shot. But other than that, they didn't let it go. And that was my biggest gripe as well. I'm not angry that we've lost to City. That it happens. Like, I get it. As a Man United fan, of course it hurts. I'm not shocked at the gap between Man United and Man City. Of course I'm not. We all know what it is. We all know how good they are, and we all know how shit Man United are. However, what you have to do in that, like what Abby's saying, I 100% said it yesterday. Well, make us difficult to beat then. Players, you lot. Manager sets you up fine. When you cross the white line, when there's been tributes to Sir Bobby just before that as well, do you know what I mean? Like, put some effort in.
Yeah.
And then, in typical Man United fashion, they do it in the wrong way. You get the idiot flipping Anthony coming on and just going to come and kick people. Should have got sent off. Like, I'm looking at Bruno and I'm saying, you're the captain. So
That's
listen,
not a captain.
as a fan,
He's not a captain.
He's
as a
not a
fan,
captain.
right? I'm never just going to throw somebody under the bus in bad times, yeah? So when Bruno's come in, he's done a lot of good things for Man United in a time when there wasn't much structure, and he is a good player. I do believe he is a good player. However, when you become the captain of Man United, it's different. You just rip the armband off Harry Maguire, who's actually thriving because it ain't on him. And Roy Keane, I know Roy Keane's comments and stuff like that. But when I'm looking at it, he done 2 things yesterday that really pissed me off, right? The first one was, there was a free kick, right? We're losing, right? Did you lot were covering the game, innit?
Yeah.
I watched it.
He just wouldn't move out the way. Like, get out the way so they can take the free kick. You're not doing anything clever by trying to hold up the game. Get out the way. Then there was a moment where all the fans were just begging the players to cross it. Hurry up, cross it. And they just didn't do it. Then it went back to Bruno, and then it was the wrong time to cross it. But in typical Bruno fashion, he tries to just spam it in there, and it gets it's a silly clearance, and then people start. He turns round and just starts moaning at people. It's indefensible. I've tried to defend him for a long time because he's my captain, he plays for my club, and I will try and back my players till the cows come home. But what I won't do is just blindly give people support when they are doing things in front of my face, in the stadium, on the screen, where that is not conducive to the environment that Man United want to have. There's players that will be in that dressing room, because I don't care that if I see them in the mix zone and they smile and it looks all good. It ain't. Like, there's going to be players there that are going, he's an idiot. There are going to be players in that dressing room saying, nah, he's always moaning. Why are you turning around and moaning at me when you just overhit the pass? That has an impact. There's going to be players in there saying, boy, look at Rashi, mate. He's miles off it. He's playing every game. The manager said in the press conference before the game, I'm going to play him every game.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to play Marcus Rashford in any game. Then he said about the tactics. Why is Varane not playing? Why is Regan not playing? Said it's tactics with the little smirk. All right, cool.
What was the tactic on
Then
that?
after the game, they asked him again. He said, I've said it before. Do I need to say it again? And the journalist said, yeah, can you clarify? Like, so you picked him over Varane then? Evans. I'm not saying Evans had a bad game. He was like, he gave the reasons for it. You know, Harry Maguire's better on the left, and you know, I don't want. We needed to press him, and we needed to cover Alvarez, and just making himself look silly at the moment. So it's awful, and Ten Hag's got a lot to do.
Keep the comments coming in. Keep those likes coming in as well. 933 likes, nearly 9,000 of you watching. Please,
that's a 1 in 10 ratio. Come on.
Jimmy says, Son as a captain compared to Bruno is like night and day. Bruno's extremely reactive, negative, emotional, etc. He takes his anger out on his teammates. Sir DB says, Flex getting sauteed is my weekly Monday morning. Muha says, United have major issues, but I've always said it's not losing us the issue, it's how we lose. Tactically, Eric Ten Hag is at fault. Yep. And these players suck, he says. Eloise says, Big Ange changing everything. The whole club is different. Finally, our youth teams play in a similar style to the first team now. Top in the under-18s and under-21s and the Premier League. One leader can change everything, unlike Eric Ten Hag.
I'm fully prepared that we're going to lose.
Jorge says, Rashford looks like he's waiting for an offer.
Just got one. Just got 400 grand a week.
German Chicken Wing says, I don't care what anyone else says. Anthony, no, I can't read that one.
Yeah.
You're trying to get us sued. Rude Boy 94 says, Ange is a better manager than Ten Hag, and that's why they play well. That's coming from an Arsenal fan. James Bond, going back to Matisse, says, Matisse from 21 points to 21 questions. 21 can do something for me.
He's only got 21 seconds to go.
He says, get Flex a Grinch suit for Christmas. The most cringe guy on YouTube. That's not very nice. That's not very nice.
No.
I'm well pissed at. Who said that?
James Bond.
Ralph says, what really annoys me about this Chelsea team is they've just let Arsenal get 3 points instead of Brentford. Diaz says, Robbie, pick one. Spurs win the Premier League, Invincibles, or Arsenal don't win a major trophy for 20 years.
Oh, what do you mean?
No, I'm not.
It's already done this.
You don't want to go.
Not getting involved in it. Dragons Fifth Square says, Arsenal go Invincibles and Centurions this season. I don't think so. And great show, guys. We did that one already. And there was one right at the beginning. All peed up says to the Peckham Reds moaning about VAR. Hold that. But I have to say, just on that penalty decision.
Yeah.
Now, to me,
soft.
That's the one thing I have to...
Definitely soft.
I think it's a penalty.
It's a penalty.
When you look back at it, it's a penalty in that.
That's what Gabriel done to Højlund. That wasn't a pen.
How many of them do you see given?
I said this.
That's why I didn't think. That's why I didn't think.
But
because
that one was
they've set a precedent now.
The Højlund done the same thing happened to Gabriel.
No, that should have been a pen as well.
That's what I mean. But to be honest,
but they don't give those. So why are they?
You're going to lose it.
We're going to lose it.
I don't care.
I mean, at that stage,
I'll let you lot talk about it.
The game from a mental
at that
point
stage
of view,
is 0-0.
Yeah, but from a mental point of view, you could just see what was going to happen. United didn't do anything really to pressure City.
Still
0-0. Don't excuse it.
No, but don't excuse it. But the penalty goes in, and then you've seen this script before, and there's still time when the second half kicks off. Mount comes on. You're thinking this next goal is massive for United, but they just let City score again, and it's just the behaviour. And again, I'm far from a United fan, but even I'm watching Ten Hag and the players going, the fans don't even deserve that. Like, Flex is there every week. United fans are there. Genuinely, they don't deserve what they are watching. They're getting bantered by away fans singing, tearing Cockneys apart, go back to London. We were singing Ollie's at the wheel when we beat you 5-0. Everyone's coming and just rolling you over. But the behaviour of Bruno and Anthony is despicable. It's disgraceful. As a professional footballer, to be coming on and just booting people like it's Sunday League. You wouldn't even get that in Sunday League. And if you do, it's one of these, mate, straight away. So, Anthony, you can hold that. Bruno, your attitude...
Bruno, am I?
Your attitude was disgusting. And I totally agree with Roy Keane. He needs to be stripped of that captaincy.
You see on that?
Straight away.
So who do you give it to? Because I've always said Bruno is not a captain.
No.
Bruno was never
Him
going
and Maguire.
Bruno was never going to
worst
turn up
two
to this.
captains
Bruno,
of Man United's
AGT is
history.
right. You can't give it...
Well, you're going to give it it to Rashford. Rashford doesn't deserve it
You can't
either.
give it to Rashford. You can't give it to Hoyland. You can't give it to Anthony. You can't
What
give it to
about-
Varane. He's always
what about
injured.
Varane's not a
Martinez?
captain.
You can't give it
He's
to
always
Shaw,
injured.
he's always injured.
Yeah.
You can't give it to McTominay. He's crap. You can't give it to
Martinez, he's injured right now,
Martinez,
but
don't
maybe
even, barely does speak
doesn't speak
English. A bit.
English.
Can't give it to Dallo, inconsistent.
Onana,
Wan-Bissaka just
he-
chews
Casemiro.
gum. Can't give it to Onana. Casemiro don't speak English. I've just named
Ericsson?
11, 12 players.
I mean,
Ericsson
he's
in
not
and out of the
captain,
squad.
but still.
Who can you give it to at Man United?
don't-
Mason Mount, he's captained us before.
And that
And look how that
shows
went.
Don't be silly,
how
boy.
damning that there encapsulates how bad
Yeah.
Man United
It's disgusting,
is.
mate.
The fact that even when Harry Maguire got the captaincy, you looked around and went, oh,
Is that all we got?
yeah.
really. Do you know what I mean? You want to look for a senior player. David De Gea's not there anymore. Luke Shaw's a senior player. Injured.
Do you know
don't know
what?
what
You
you're going
sound
to get.
so similar to how I sounded last year. Like when you look at the squad and you just don't
What is
see
there?
one leader in it.
Yeah, there isn't.
You just don't, because you know people are leaving or they don't want to be there. They're not pulling their
But
weight.
then how
And
Son's a captain.
Yeah,
now.
Son stepped up.
And he was there last year.
He was there last year, but he stepped up. Under that regime, there was no leaders, and that's how
And
it
you
has
give
been
him
for the
credit
last
for stepping
4
up, because I don't think I could name
all
someone
the
that
credit.
could step up. And it's not just an
All the
on-pitch
credit.
role, by the way. That's going around lifting the standards
Yeah.
of just general how the club is run each and every single day in the changing room. How are you? You okay?
He's the perfect
you need to
person
step
to
it
do
up.
it, so-
I don't see anyone that can do that
Bruno's
for
not that
United.
guy.
But also, let's not hide the fact that they've lost 5 in the first 10 games, and Erik ten Hag sat on his hill last night and said it was for tactics. He almost laughed at himself. He is an absolute disgrace as well, by the way. And I know there's this Liverpool thing of give him a 10-year contract, and we can run that banter if we want, but when it comes down to it, that is a manager managing potentially the biggest football club in the world, and he is running a mockery. The players, he's totally lost the dressing room now. I don't care what anyone says. And I know the Glazers have a massive part to blame in this as well. I know, because if you don't change them, what can change? If De Zerbi comes in, is anything going to change? No. But Erik ten Hag now, after 18 months, and he has held so much corn, the big defeats that he's had, the Brentfords, the Liverpools, the Cities again, the Liverpools again, he has really got to look at himself and actually ask himself, these players that I've brought in, the Mounts, the Antonys, I'm not even starting them. So why have I fought so hard to spend all this money on them for him just to say tactics at the end? He is a disgrace.
I agree with the last thing you said, but I don't agree that Ten Hag is a disgrace, because even you and a lot of people around this table and me and a lot of fans were saying first season in the bag, fair play. You couldn't have done much more than that. You took Man United from their worst ever Premier League season. I will defend Ten Hag a little bit here, because you've just seen I've given him massive criticism and I won't blindly defend him. But I'm not going to forget that last season we did stabilise. Last season we came from our worst ever Premier League finish, and he got us third on a trophy. A good building block. Has it gone to absolute shit in these 10 games? Absolutely yes. But he still did do something last year to when people were saying, well done, look what he's done with the Maguire situation, he's phased him out. Well done, he's broken up the partnership of McTominay and Fred. Oh, well done, the Ronaldo situation. Well done, Marcus Rashford scoring all these goals. Oh, well done, Wan-Bissaka's improved. These were real things. These things happened. However, in this moment, if Ten Hag doesn't change something very quickly and stop having players that are immune, i.e. Bruno and Rashford,
And there's no
immune from being
consequences for these guys.
immune from bad performances, he's going to die on this sword.
Let me do a few super chats here. Nate Stevens says, we battered United at the Swamp. Old Trafford is falling apart.
Literally.
10 more years of the Glazers. Ole, 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 champions again. 5 coaches in 10 years, says Fitz. It can't all be
With the new
their
Liverpool, we're going to
faults.
be like 23. When did you win? How long was it? 23 years before, when you got that Premier League. How long was it? 30 years.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We used to laugh at Liverpool because they went into the
It's 10
abyss.
years now.
That's what I'm saying. It's already 10
20
years.
for you.
And in my lifetime, I never thought we'd ever see 10 years without a title.
London Nomad says, even when Odegaard struggles, he still tries to rally the team and get back into it.
I saw
what
Mount
does
not running
Bruno
when he
do?
came on. I saw Bruno
Ricky
not
Proctor.
running.
Bruno was running around everywhere.
No,
It's
but
just
he was
shit.
throwing his arms up. He's
Yeah,
a
but he was running.
disgrace of a
He's
footballer.
running,
Ricky
he's not
Proctor
running
says-
with
I know, but he's a
intent.
disgrace, man.
He's
Why don't you get
terrible.
reps from City, New United? If you must say Newcastle United.
you mean.
Brighton on the show, also to maintain order to the table. We will get some of those on. We've got to get Matty Renton on soon. Ronnie says Dan Gore and Mainu should play on Wednesday for us. Of course, you've got Newcastle coming up on Wednesday
They'll make
in
the changes,
the
they've got
Carabao Cup.
Probably still lose. Yeah.
Would you not rather
Loved
play your
it.
kids?
United. Loved it when
Rest of
United beat City
whole
3-0
rest
in
of
the
it.
highlights.
For now.
Ma blaming all the newborn babies because of Enzo was monumental.
Yeah, head was hot. I was like, bro, bring your kid to work, then, man. We need you.
Oh, is that why he didn't play?
Yeah, that's why he didn't
Jimmy
play.
says Ten Hag needs to focus more on playing people who deserve it and less on whether or not Sancho can eat his lunch in the United canteen. That's weird.
It's mad that.
That's another one.
That's another thing, Flicks. The
He
players
can't be
don't,
there, though.
Sancho
players don't
wins.
look-
That sounds. You see that thing there?
Sancho wins, bro.
That sounds. You see that thing there? Yeah? That sounds like when you read it. But think about it. If somebody's been kind of suspended out of this vicinity of, let's say, DR, you can't have me in here eating lunch with all it. If I'm saying you're not part of it, that's not a good environment.
Yeah, but
he has to not be in the first team bit because you're not coming back until you say
Yeah,
sorry.
but I wholly disagree with this. The way that Jadon Sancho has been punished when you've got Anthony, who is under investigation and is playing. I know you're innocent till you're proven guilty, but while you're under investigation,
But that
for things
is what that is.
Should you
Look.
be allowed to play while Jadon Sancho is eating lunch in his car in another car park? Probably not.
That's a different story
That's
in terms of what
that's
happens
not
with
right.
until they change the rules legally of what happens with that when someone gets an allegation made against them. Then it's up there for debate. I understand that. But
Okay.
in terms of the footballing side of it, Jadon Sancho has come out and publicly went at the manager and called him a liar.
But do you think that's right?
What?
The way that he's being punished? Do you agree with Ten Hag?
I do. I think that until you say sorry for doing that, we can't move forward.
Yeah, but how
and
do
you
know
can't
he-
be around the first team
Yeah, but
operations.
do you disagree with what Jadon Sancho's saying?
That he's been made the scapegoat? Not really.
So then is he a liar?
Let me do a few
No,
more
that's what I'm
super
saying. I
chats
don't agree
and
with
then
Jadon Sancho that he's been made
I need to
scapegoat.
ask Alex as well about who got the man of the match for that on the Opta. Max Andy says pray for the Luis Diaz family. We'll touch on that in a minute with you, Alex. Alpha says Matisse thoughts on some motherhood. Saw you yesterday. Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
people watching.
I was.
Well, you could talk about that later. We're busy,
About-
right?
Yeah.
Puskas, he's out. He's obviously a rough weekend. He's like,
Had to go
I was
to the
everywhere.
cinema.
let me
I
go
was
to the
everywhere.
cinema.
Yeah.
Right.
This guy.
Last one from Matisse from Puskas. He says Postecoglou has more wins in 2023 than Chelsea, despite only having managed since August. Gabri says Flex is the type of person when he speaks, you listen. Always makes a good point. United says City lose Rodri and then they're 3 out of 4 losses on missing one player. United lose their entire back four and it's the manager's fault. Anti-United agenda. I don't think it's anti-United agenda when you hear even players like, ex-players like Gary Neville and Roy Keane, making
mad
very strong
decisions.
points on
Yeah,
it. It's
he's
not
making
not an agenda. Jamon says, Mark being a B after this weekend is poetic, very clever. Just Waffling says, culture eats strategy, philosophy and tactics for breakfast. Glazers out. Dragons Vin Square says, Nketiah better than any of the Man United attackers. Alam says, the United performance just shows how good Arsenal were in quelling City's attacking threat. And RSV says, AGT, you remember David Moyes is a football genius. From all Liverpool fans singing in the 3-0 win at Old Trafford back in 2014. Who was the man of the match? You got the Opta stats around that game.
Yeah, so obviously we had Chelsea-Brentford. The man of the match there was Mbeumo. If you got that at home, well done. We had West Ham-Everton. Massive win that for Everton, 1-0 away. I went with James Ward-Prowse to be the man of the match in that game. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It was actually Dominic Calvert-Lewin who, again, had a great game. 50 goals up now in the Premier League for him. He gets an 84 out of 100, his Optimax rating. In the Aston Villa game, I went for Watkins. It was actually Diaby, and they really concentrated on him last night. Match of the day. Unbelievable player, by the way. 88.8 for him in the Optimax from last week as well. And in the Tottenham game, of course, it was Son who was the player of the match. 87.5. We've already spoken about Mbeumo, and the last one was actually a bit of a comparison between. It was Eddie, of course, but looking at the Tottenham game, a lot of us thought it would be Maddison. 35.5 he dropped on the weekend.
Very
and don't say that because it's
on a personal note. I think that's inaccurate.
On a personal.
Don't argue with Opta.
Big up
How
Opta.
dare you?
Like, how dare you be that rude about James
Don't
Maddison?
go anywhere. But
By the way,
Son's
there's
good, 87.5.
There's
He
another
was good.
poll as well. Best Halloween outfit at the moment: Matisse 26%, Abby 42%, Flex 22%, AGT on 10%.
I'll take that.
All right.
Can't believe
let's-
I
it
think
really
they
a
all look
costume.
great.
It's
Yeah.
just
Statement.
well,
I did vote for
some-
Matisse.
careful. You're running the line, boss.
Have you not already booked him?
AGT, a fan touched
Doing,
on that.
what's it called?
A fan touched on
Graham
that
Poll.
a minute ago. The situation, I mean, obviously you had your game yesterday, Liverpool winning 3-0. Pretty comfortable win for them. But the Jota, when he scored his goal, run over and held up
I
a
love my
shirt with
boys, man.
Luis Diaz on it.
I love my club.
And of course, for people who don't know why he did that, Luis Diaz, mum and dad kidnapped over in Colombia. His mum's been released, but still no word on his dad, and it must be a really harrowing time for him.
Yeah, and they've put out a 200 million Colombian pesos reward for any information, which translates to be around £40,000. Obviously, Luis Diaz has been in touch with the head of the police at Barrancas, which is the area in which he's from. I didn't really like the fact that they put the video out of them talking to him on the phone, where you can hear he's clearly very distressed. He's saying, I can't sleep, I'd do anything.
Who put that video out?
The Colombian police had him on loudspeaker, and they're talking to him, updating him about that's private,
That's
bro.
private, cool.
Why would you put that out? And he's clearly so distressed. He's saying he can't sleep, he can't do anything else.
Of course he can't.
The worst thing he could do, in my opinion, is go there, because I think that opens up a whole new can of worms. But listen, man,
His mum and that, innit?
of
Man wanna
course,
be
bro.
with his mum.
Like, of course you're going to want to do that. And Klopp said in his press conference he's seen pretty much everything in football. But how can you even deal with that? When that news comes through, how do you react to that? So, listen, man, everyone here at DR and the wider footballing world is hoping that that situation gets sorted sooner rather than later and Diaz can get back to playing. I've never experienced anything like this from a Liverpool player before, so all my thoughts are with him. And, I mean, yeah, Luis Diaz's dad, man, I hope he gets home safe.
Yeah, and despite that, Liverpool, again, putting in a very strong performance. Liverpool only lost one game this season, looking strong at the moment.
Barely. Looking really strong. Núñez in particular, 11 goals and assists in 13 games, 58.6 minutes every time he gets one of those. I'm loving the little triangle he's created with Mo Salah and Szoboszlai, who I thought was excellent again. 2 assists for Szoboszlai, another goal for Salah as well. That's 5 in a row at home in the first 5 games of the season for him. Don't know what Turner was doing coming out that far. He completely misjudged the
What he
bounce.
did there. He's normally a decent keeper. Turner,
and
isn't
you know what? He made some good saves in that game. When you look at it, we should have maybe won that a bit more comfortably. But there's nothing but good things to say. I think Virgil is looking very near back to his best. 2 clean sheets in a row. There was a couple of nervy moments with Elanga, he hit the bar, and if we were playing a better team, maybe they would have got 1 or 2. But another clean sheet for Alisson. I thought McAllister was excellent, sets up the first goal by breaking up the play and giving it off to Salah. But Salah, the way he finds Núñez with these balls where he's so wide, you can't really find someone in them positions, but he holds on to it. Either Szoboszlai is overlapping him or Núñez is making that inside run, and he finds him every time. Yes, Núñez probably could have been a little bit more clinical, but I'm still happy with the output. But Mo Salah as a creator is just unbelievable, Robbie. Some of the passes that he can find are magnificent. And obviously Jota started the game because of what's happening with Diaz. He scores the goal, lifts the shirt up, and the togetherness, I mean, with all due respect, it's the total opposite to United right now. This team is really cooking, and I think Klopp's getting really excited about what's maybe to come. But Konate summed it up perfectly on his Instagram post. He said it's really difficult to celebrate that win when your brother, and he is a brother to all the players in that team, when your brother is going through something like that, how can you truly celebrate? But yeah, listen, 3-0, 3 points, and we've got Luton away next week, so really, really, really impressed with Liverpool at the minute.
Biplov
really
says Diogo Jota giving me Dirk Kuyt vibes.
A little bit, probably a bit more clinical than Kaut, but
he says,
he's a big runner.
You never walk alone, Luis Diaz. Just Waffling says, not a Klopp fan, but I disrespected his abilities last year while they were
Thank
down.
you.
Their team spirit is levels.
And also,
they will push it to the brink this year. And
yellow card to Abby Summers for predicting that Forest would win that 2-1. Hold it, yeah. And if you give me
Hold
more
that
right,
top of the league. Hold it.
you've got a yellow. So you don't want to get sent off now, do you?
Oh God,
Okay?
I'm absolutely terrified.
Right,
Right, that's it.
I'm terrified.
he's
And
such a threat.
Abby, Friday night. You know what I mean?
Yellow card. That's your red. Off you go, love.
God, she pissed me off.
He's such a
Briefly,
prefect,
that's
isn't he?
why.
Tottenham got-
Yeah, house captain.
Proper prefect.
Yeah.
Tommy gave
got
me
the
these
job done.
cards.
Printed them off
Tottenham,
myself, actually.
Tottenham did get the
Tottenham
job
got the job done,
It
beating
did.
Crystal Palace by 2-0. Good away win.
2-1,
Wasn't it? You flew at
2-1,
best in that.
2-1.
2-1,
you
sorry.
scored a great
2-1,
goal.
yeah. They had the goal at the end where they were disputing whether it's handball or not. But
Would have been harsh to rule out, I think.
Yeah.
It did take a little touch, but
It
I
took-
think it was.
You can't see
was like
100%.
I think that was the right decision
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
couldn't definitely say it was handball. So
Yeah,
you got to
I
give the
agreed.
goal. I think they got that one right. But Tottenham didn't play great in that game. I felt if Palace had a bit more about them, if maybe Eze or someone was playing. But again, it doesn't matter.
Signed
it
him
doesn't-
good
Got the
team,
3
that.
points.
It doesn't matter. You got the kind of, we got the job done. We created chance. I think we played a lot better second half than we did first. First, I think that. I don't think we were bad. I think that just we've come to expect maybe Tottenham to play really, really well, and they just were a little bit more passive and a bit reserved. Obviously, we had the game on Monday night against Fulham. I felt that we were also quite passive in that game, but got the job done. So as long as we're getting job done, I'm not sitting here going, how have we scraped that? Then it's absolutely fine. We've got a nice 9-day rest now before he comes to White Hart Lane.
Pochettino derby.
Pochettino derby.
Next week,
Is
Monday.
that Super Sunday? Oh, it's Monday
That's
night.
Monday night.
Monday night.
Yeah. And we're doing
I
the
don't know
watching
how
on
we're
9
Monday
days
night.
rest.
9 days rest.
special.
So
That's
it was.
9
It
days
actually
rest.
was
No,
quite
Europe,
nice
bro.
to get it done early doors, get the win, and have a lovely chilled weekend. To be honest, and then sit down with my popcorn for these two. I think that I'm not going to ever let somebody say that we're in a title race. We are 10 games in, but we are enjoying things at the moment.
I'm just telling you to believe. Why don't
No,
you believe?
I'm just saying enjoy your time at the minute. Like, I think if you go back to the start of the season, we would have been happy to be in and around top 4. I think my prediction for the season was, if we can be top 6. We didn't know what it was going to be like with Ange. I think while the first 11 is fit, and we did see it on Friday night with Destiny out, bringing Ben Davis in, it's Destiny.
Doggy.
Yeah.
Destiny.
Destiny.
Speaking like our
Destiny.
mates.
His name's Destiny. I mean, it's much cooler to call him Destiny. To be fair.
I'll call him a doggy.
Bringing a doggy in, with him being out and Ben Davis coming in, you can see the difference. And obviously, he got taken off at half time for Royale. So I think as a first 11, if everyone's fit, it's amazing. But I think we can't say realistically that we're ever going to win a league because we would need everything to go in our way, and we'd also need to have a great January as well. But I still think the target is to finish in the top 4, and that's already an uplift of the expectation for where we didn't have any expectations for the season. If we can finish top 4, that's a very happy season for us.
Okay. Don't forget, guys, the Halloween video with these guys.
When is this coming out?
It's out tonight.
Tonight,
It's
man.
out tonight, just ahead of Halloween. So make sure you check that one out. That's going to be out tonight.
I'm actually going to give myself a red card for my reaction.
Your
to a lot of
behaviour.
those.
Leave it, save it
Anyway,
to the video.
no spoilers.
No spoilers, man.
Is
No
it coming out
spoilers.
today?
Too late now,
Out
mate.
today.
Tonight.
Out
Too
tonight.
late now.
Changed it.
Halloween
By the way-
tonight,
Too late.
It's Halloween tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
Yeah,
night.
but same thing.
I thought I'd leave the best for last.
bizarre.
Well, not exactly last, because a couple of other results to talk about.
Routine.
Arsenal 5,
I thought it was
Sheffield
gonna
Not
United.
much to
0.
talk
I
about.
literally had predicted 5-0.
Routine.
Yeah, Eddie
Bottom of the
hat-trick.
table,
Say
1
No,
point.
listen,
Listen,
massive
you lot
respect
just
to Eddie.
scraped.
Yeah,
You
so did
just
City,
scraped.
so did City, so did Spurs.
So did City, so did Spurs. So
3
when
points,
you
3
just say
points, mate,
routine,
you know what I mean?
is what I was saying earlier.
Newcastle mashed them up as
When
well.
you've got a team that is the ultimate low block, like what they put on, it's very important. I think the first goal by Eddie Nketiah is so important because
Scored some bangers this
you've
weekend.
got to
third
you've
goal.
got to get that goal to break that resistance.
Because once you do,
And then
you'll
the
be
third
Yeah,
alright.
and that's what he did.
Yeah.
He did say that.
but I
What was
thought
the Rocket goal? Was that second?
Third.
Or was
Third.
for the
That was
hat-trick?
for the
The
hat-trick.
hat-trick one was
That
that.
was the hat-trick
Yeah,
goal.
that was a
Wow.
wicked
I
goal.
mean, he was on fire
Wow.
on Saturday, Eddie. The first goal, brilliant. Great pass by Declan Rice. And brilliant control by Eddie and a great finish. The second one was decent. It was rifled it into the corner from a set piece.
Oh, yeah,
but the
right.
third one, whoa,
What a strike,
What a
man.
See, all
strike
them
that
put
was.
respect on Eddie's name, man.
Yeah, I always put
Turkish
respect
still
on
wants him
Eddie's
out,
name.
man. You know what I mean?
I always.
He
do you
got
know
the
the
armband
thing
at
is,
one point,
I
didn't
was
he?
on
Yeah.
the
Lens finest, man. Give
I was
the
on
kid his props.
I was on FCM last night, the FCM show, and they were making a great point. It was going as number 2 because we all know Eddie's not the main guy. The main guy is Gabriel Jesus, and I would like to see Arsenal try and get an Ivan Toney as well, right? I would, because it's all about trying to get the best players you can possibly get. But as far as number 2s go,
Decent.
he's, like the guys were saying, Alvarez, yeah, better. Nunes, would you say Darwin Nunes is he's the number 2 striker? He probably is, isn't he? The way he plays, he's been playing mainly He's been coming mainly off the bench, hasn't he?
I'd say this season towards the end.
So
the
number
middle,
2,
you're gonna see him
he'd
as
be
an
better
upgrade.
than Eddie.
Quite an expensive number 2.
He'd be better than Eddie, and he cost 60, 70 million. Callum
can't talk about
Wilson,
expensives.
better than. But who after that? Who's better?
Jackson was 35 million.
Really, when you look around, do you know what I mean? And he cost nothing. He came through the ranks, so we got to give him his
He's only on
flowers, man.
100K a week.
I do see the positives, but I do see the things where Arsenal fans, obviously, if you have to play Eddie in the bigger games against the bigger opposition, you can see a lot wanting. So he's not going to be the striker.
Thing is, he scored goals in big games.
And that's why I've always quite liked Eddie and Kay. I think he's been given a rough time. Anytime Gabriel Jesus is out,
He steps up.
he usually steps in. And I know, he went a while without scoring last year.
But his stats when he starts are very, very good.
He does his thing, man.
They're very, very good when he starts. So I think he played really well. And Canadian Gooner says, why is no one speaking about my boy Saka? I think Saka equaled that record of Ian Wright on goal involvement. And it wasn't even his greatest games. But like you guys said, it was in the end, it was quite an easy
predictable
game for
well, you got West Ham away, innit? Carabao Cup.
West Ham away, then Newcastle away, the big one next week.
They'll beat Newcastle.
Although we did beat Newcastle. Yeah, got Newcastle. We did beat Newcastle last year.
It might be uncomfortable like that, but
it'll be a tough game. And it's going to be very interesting to see what team we put out during the week. On some of the other games, you touched on it earlier, Aston Villa. Now, do we all need to start looking at Villa and saying they've got top 4
Did
prospects?
you see the stat on Match Today last night? The most wins in 2023. Man City with 25.
Arsenal, wasn't it?
Villa with 23.
Yeah.
More than Liverpool, more than Arsenal, more than Tottenham. So I remember BH Stricto chatting about Champions League. We all laughed at him. But if they carry this on, they're
It's
going
top
to be
5
there or
Champions League.
thereabouts, 100%.
I'll tell you one thing, right? Nobody wants to go Villa
It's
Park
at home. That's what it is.
and play
It's
them.
at home.
They're
12 wins in a row.
very
On the road, I think they might come unstuck in some
At
games
home.
and maybe not get top
very,
4.
very strong.
Because I don't think they're going to be better than Tottenham.
12 wins in a row at home.
the other teams,
Unbelievable.
Wolves got a great draw against Newcastle.
Great game.
Good game, entertaining game. But Wolves, Gary O'Neill, man, give him his props. You know what I mean?
should
Laughing
never
all the way
been
to the bank at Bournemouth,
Yeah,
mate.
should
That's
never
it.
been
Should
sacked.
never
He did a
been
good job.
sacked.
Would you take Gary O'Neill at Chelsea?
Stop it. Stop it.
Why? That's rude. Don't
Stop
be rude
it.
to him. At least he's winning.
Stop it.
Also, I will say Pedro Neto
crying
being
for us
out.
to come back.
Like,
Yeah,
that
that's
looked
a
like
big blow. Big
I don't know
blow.
if it's a torn hamstring or something,
Look
but
like
that looks
it.
bad.
Look
That
like
don't
a
look
torn
good.
hamstring.
And he's been on
That's a
fire.
big blow. That's the thing with Neto. He picks up a lot of injuries, man. But he's
Look
a
at that
quality
guy.
player. Talking of Bournemouth, they got a win.
He did get that win.
Much-needed win.
Yeah,
That was a
They did.
6-pointer. And they beat Burnley by 2-1. Although it was a controversial VAR. Mr. VAR at the end of that
Talk us
game.
through it.
What was your verdict on that one?
Yeah, I got it right, but it took them way too long. 5.5 minutes that took for them to sort that out. The initial line that was drawn was clearly like overlapping his body. It didn't make any sense, so they had to. And credit to David Coote, I think he was heard by saying, "This is not right. Are you sure? We need to change this." They put the lines back to where they should have been. And if you're Vincent Kompany, who a few weeks ago said Liverpool need to get on with it, so it's a different,
Good on David
different tone
Coote.
for him. So
All right. Brighton won. Fulham won. Brighton. They do seem to do
See,
this, innit? Drop
remember I was
points.
saying on the
Yeah.
Thursday, I was like,
Yeah.
Brighton just have them games.
Fulham are not
Everyone was
good.
saying they were going to
Fulham
get
are
pumped
terrible.
and that.
Fulham are
I
not
mean,
good.
it's like,
I know they played
Mourinho
Ajax
just
in
have them
midweek.
games.
They played
Mourinho
Brighton
again.
fans weren't happy after that one.
No, Fulham played us.
Feel the goal.
No, I mean Brighton played
Oh,
Ajax
sorry,
in
yeah.
midweek.
Yeah.
But
I don't
Ajax
know.
are bottom of the league at the moment.
Yeah, that's
Bottom of the league, 5 losses in a row.
Yeah.
Ten Hag could go back.
Just shows
West
up when he
Ham-
leaves, you know.
And West
Worse
Ham losing at home to Everton.
be bottom.
That was mad.
That was a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
Fair play to Everton,
Dominic
man.
Calvert-Lewin with a great goal.
Great finish.
And could have started that game. He
did.
They had if you could have wrote that team out on paper, you'd be like, yes, this is everything
game.
you finally wanted from West Ham. Paqueta, Bowen, and Kudus, and
They do struggle after playing midweek.
David Boy's going to go right back.
Right back to what? Yeah, Souček in the 10. See, I told you, lot. This is why I do it my way. Souček in the 10.
David Moyes is going straight back to tried and tested, mate. None of that.
Let's take a look at the table after the 10th game of the season. Rock bottom on only 1 point. They haven't won a game this season now. Sheffield United. Just above them, Burnley now second from bottom with 4 points. And Luton Town, they're in the bottom 3, 5 points from 10 games. Bournemouth, the big movers, with that win, they come out of the bottom 3 and they've on 6 points. Top of the table, still Tottenham, still top. They've won 8 games, drawn 2. Just behind them, Arsenal, they're on 24 points, 1-7 drawn 3. Manchester City in third place on 24 points, also same amount of points. And Liverpool on 23. So it's all very tight on the top. Even Villa, they got 22 points in 5th place. So a win for any of those teams really, really moves them around. Looking at your two teams, guys, Manchester United now in 8th place after that defeat.
We've been there for time.
That's
good.
Points.
That's not too bad.
That's
5 wins.
he is
Considering how bad we are, mate.
It's all good.
That's what
Couple
you
of points behind Newcastle.
And,
They're amazing.
Chelsea,
Don't try that
Chelsea,
one.
where
They're
are
amazing.
you?
Don't try that one.
Chelsea
Where are
on
you?
12
They're
points.
amazing.
12 points?
All these United fans keep doing that, innit?
How many points are we behind?
If
you?
we,
How many points you got?
all these United fans to be during the week, guys.
This time next year.
If we win against City, we're only 6 points off the top.
Well, you
I'm like,
didn't, and you're not.
Can I just say
Only
something,
6
right?
points
If we
off the
lose
top.
to Tottenham on Monday, I'm bringing in the 50 quid.
For that, I'll bet. You know, can I just say, he sent it to me.
done.
He sent me the clip of it on Saturday afternoon, as if to say, I know.
I'm nearly ready to
walking up a
concede.
mountain, I'm
Yeah,
nearly
yeah,
ready
yeah.
to concede.
Yeah.
What was
like-
it that you'd finish higher?
Yeah, I'd say we finish higher.
And
That was
just-
before Postecoglou came in.
We didn't even have a manager. We were
Yeah.
turned down by
just
our
wanted
best
to have a
manager.
manager.
It's Tottenham.
He was thinking that's a banker.
100%.
That's an easy-
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me get a couple of these just before we go. Precise Sign says, Robbie, I think the Ramsdale situation is affecting Saka and Odegaard, their buddies. Shorty AFC says, the Arsenal fans should wear blue next Monday. We will be both champions of Europe for a day.
Robbie might be wearing that next week.
Blue.
Yeah, could be.
Blue. Shannon says, English lads doing... Actually, I've got to ask you guys about this. So he says, Shannon says, English lads doing well abroad. Bellingham winning the El Clasico.
Hey,
and
yo.
Kane scoring from his own half.
Wow.
England really got a chance at the Euros. Now, that's a great point. I mean, Bellingham
Yeah.
and Kane. I was at Kane. Did you see his goal? It was like Beckham. Where he scored
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
thing.
Back
Yeah.
Beckham.
Right, and then Bellingham. I mean, to score both goals in the El Clasico,
On your debut.
one an absolute banger, and the other one. The
Do you know what?
winner.
Do you know what made it
I mean,
better?
what he's doing extraordinary things right now,
I
Jude
don't think I've
Bellingham.
ever seen a better player at his age.
Bellingham in that game wasn't even playing well. So the fact that he still managed to find that moment for that long shot, I mean, it's
They
just
locked him off the first
yeah,
half. Locked him off.
ridiculous. And then
You see him, yeah?
his box movement is ridiculous.
I'll
as well.
say
He's
this:
always in the right place.
we've all got our reservations about Gareth Southgate, yeah. But I'm being honest. I think Jude Bellingham is good enough to put England on his back and make us win the Euros.
But we've
Even
done
with
this
Gareth
before,
Southgate's
though.
the tactics, like to get there, because we're knocking on the door, right? Semis, and we've got to got to a final, etc., etc. I actually think if we can go far enough, yeah, if we can get to the latter stages, Jude Bellingham is that much of a difference maker right now, and you're assuming he's going to have this season and take it into the Euros. He is that good, coupled with Saka, with Kane, etc., etc.
Saka, Kane, Grealish, Foden.
He is that good. He can be the
Declan
difference maker. of
But
us
we
winning.
but we
so
have a
good.
history
I
of
mean,
doing
look
this
at-
with
look at the
players. Like we've had
players.
Sterling, we've had Dele Alli. Like we've always put that pressure on.
Mate, we had the golden generation. We had Lampard,
Yeah.
Gerrard, Scholes, Beckham.
But since then, we've always had like
Rio.
one or two,
Owen
you know,
Rooney.
young stars that
Yeah.
were like, yeah, you're gonna carry us. You're gonna
Yeah,
carry
Rooney
us. The only
did
thing
it.
I'll say of
Owen
Jude
did it.
Bellingham is that
Yeah.
I don't think the pressure will. I mean, listen. He's at Real Madrid, performing week in, week out under that pressure. So I don't think England is gonna
Phase
be
him.
overwhelming for him. But I still don't think after 10 games we should put that pressure on him to say you should
No.
carry.
I just
How
think he's
many-
good enough.
There's
I'm
too
not
many.
saying-
Yeah, but there's too many.
just think
Do you know
he's
what?
got
If
that
he
in him.
if he has
He
to,
doesn't need to carry us.
if he has to, the rest of the squad hang your head in shame because there's too much quality in that team
How
now
many,
for England
how
not to be
many
winning
big
this,
goals
winning
has
the
he
Euros.
scored this season? How
England
many
should be aiming to
winners?
win
I
the
mean,
Euros.
they'll win a Champions League game. He scored the winner. They'll come from last minute
Because
winners.
Madrid actually haven't even been that good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They actually haven't been
Just
that good.
him.
It's just
Yes.
heavily reliant on
So
Jude Bellingham.
good. So
Jiminy
good.
says, yes, we didn't play great, but that team goal from Brennan to Maddison to Son was something you'd see in a prime Barcelona team back in the day. He's talking about Tottenham. Ricky Proctor says, when United are so horrible at home, Liverpool will win there 5-0 and Arsenal will lose again at Old Trafford. Hakeem says, AGT, please don't try point scoring team spirit with the Diaz situation. Every team would have done that if that happened to
I
their
can still
players.
say I love my players. What are you on about, you sausage?
Chicky says, Flex, would you take Julian Lopetegui over Ten Hag?
He's got to think about it.
Nah.
Keep thinking.
Would you have De Zerbi if you could swap tomorrow?
Nah, because we're just doing the same thing. We waste more money. It's be shit.
You wouldn't have deserved it.
Would you have Ollie back?
Look how he cuss his players in
I'm
public.
not gonna lie,
by the way.
Deserby's personality
Flipping heck,
would,
mate.
at Man United would be very interesting.
Listen,
I
it's the
can
same
see that
reason why we didn't get Conte at the time when you
Yeah.
talk about the personality. You
Wish
just
you
cuss out the
would've.
players.
Do you know who personality right now is getting a lot of points is Ange. I'm not gonna lie. He's a Tottenham manager.
He can't do
but
anything
damn,
wrong
He
right
can't
now.
do nothing.
It's going to be
wrong.
interesting when
Speaks
they
so
go
well.
for a rough patch.
Yeah.
When things, let's see.
Yeah.
We still need to
We will-
relax
It's
true,
a bit.
it's true.
Yeah, when they get a little tough run. I'm not talking to
very
you.
relaxed.
It's easy
saying
to talk like this when it's going well.
Yeah,
I
let's
always
just
say that.
let's
with
just wait.
managers,
It's
yeah.
10 games.
Well, it's the big one
I'm
next
very
week.
chilled.
Is it big?
The big one next week.
Is it that big?
Tottenham versus
Oh, they're
Chelsea.
gonna mash
Minor
you up.
ting.
They're gonna
Minor
mash
ting.
you
Minor
up.
Minor
ting.
ting.
Oh, you
Minor
think-
ting what? I
you
don't
think
know.
you're dealing with them? You think you win?
Stop it, Robbie. You know I don't
Second
mean it like
yellow.
that.
No, you said minor
Card,
ting.
you're off.
I mean,
You just said minor ting.
I'm trying to push
trying to not
the.
think That's why
I'm trying to not think about it. I'm trying to put the.
Literally trying to not.
I've got. Imagine the preview. Like
3 or 4, Tottenham.
got
3-0.
I think they're gonna mash them
Matisse,
up.
I
I
actually-
gave
Tottenham
you a
3,
warning.
Chelsea 0.
I'm
Something
giving
like
you
that,
too
maybe
many
like 3-1.
warnings. I've been kind. It's the end of the show.
What did you book me
That's your
for?
second
What did you
yellow,
book
and
me
now
for?
you're
I
off.
think Chelsea be
Get out.
What did you book me for?
I don't think
I-
Chelsea
saying
are
it'll be a
playing bad.
walkover.
I think
One player's bad, but I think
just
I still think we'll
just
win.
touching
2-0,
on
2-0.
Yeah,
just
like
touching on that, and I'm sure
two,
we'll preview it on
You've got to say
Thursday.
it
Yeah, yeah.
We'll save it for Thursday, but I get a feeling
Don't go anywhere.
Chelsea
I won.
they're going to be right in that
if
game.
Spurs lose
We
to
won't.
Chelsea.
We won't.
Oh, I will. I swear.
Can we disagree?
I've never seen her so confident.
I know it's not Thursday yet.
She
'cause
won't.
really
She
did-
actually
but
better
just
not
'cause
come
we're
in on
just-
I've
Monday.
never seen her so confident.
If they lose, and that's how shameless has got to
won't.
be, she's got to get cooked.
I can get cooked because I know we won't.
Oh.
I know we won't lose. Do you know why? Because
Tell us
the
why.
atmosphere is going to be so ridiculous.
It's true, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Hold
that
on, wait a
counts.
minute.
Tell me.
On
I'm
a Monday
gonna
night, the
have
atmosphere's going to be
Here
mad.
we
Let
go
her land.
again.
Let her land. Go on.
Let me land.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm
Yes.
landing.
Go on.
That atmosphere will be so good.
Yes.
And I would just like to give Robbie a reminder. Remember when they had to come to us and it was all about top 4 and Rob
Yeah.
Holding got sent off?
Yeah.
The atmosphere
Yes.
was a massive
That was
factor.
like last season.
Yeah.
And what happened then?
What do you mean?
Your atmosphere then, and when we beat you 2-0. It's
Where?
still
Conte,
At us.
Conte effect.
There was
your
no-
place.
there was
Yeah,
no
Conte.
atmosphere.
and this
It was
thing about
toxic.
listen,
There
let
was
me
no
just
atmosphere. I'm
one
talking about
second.
now.
1 second.
You're gonna
Pochettino
replicate.
coming back to
Great
Tottenham.
atmosphere helps, yeah.
Pochettino coming back to Tottenham after going to Chelsea and doing what Andrew's doing. The team cooking how the team are cooking at the
Let me
moment.
just say
Pochettino
something.
get booed.
You drink
Let me
that
just say
water.
something. I heard
Drink
it's
that.
great atmosphere thing. Obviously,
Hydration.
great atmosphere is important.
Hostile
Great atmosphere is good.
atmosphere.
But
Hostile.
I heard this last week when
Newcastle.
Newcastle were playing Dortmund. The atmosphere and what happened. It's
There's
not
no
always
right-
about.
Well, you might feel the atmosphere when you go up there, mate.
We will feel the atmosphere,
No.
but it was like that when we went there
There's
last
no-
year. We beat them 2-0.
This is different.
So
This is different. This is the type of atmosphere you experienced when Arsenal
I'm
came to us.
Said
just.
this is
Chelsea,
different.
this is
Chelsea
different.
ain't
I'm
winning.
just saying-
Pochettino coming back to Tottenham is different.
I'm just making
level.
a quick point, Abby, right? I just feel that with them, when they're playing against a low block team and that's when they're not good. But
I didn't say we're gonna smash
you're
them,
you're
smack them
going to
up.
attack them. I think that might suit Chelsea.
She
a
said
bit.
they will not lose.
I said we will not lose. I didn't say we're going to go smash them 4-0. I think it'll probably be close and 2-1. I think
Robbie?
they will never play as bad as they've been playing because because of the magnitude of this game. They hate us. We hate them. Pochettino's coming back to us.
The Pochettino derby, we can't wait for it. We will have it here on DR Sports.
Monday
Listen, we've come to the end of the show today. It's been an action-packed show. I want to thank everybody. Big up to Flex. Big good sport for coming in today. And also to you, Matisse, in the B outfit. Right, big up to you guys, man. Listen, it's always hard to come in here on a Monday after your team's just taken an L. Big up to Abby and big up to AGT as well. And don't forget that Halloween video is out later on. Do not miss it. And just before we go, the Opta.
Yeah, well,
Max.
you were speaking, so I'll let you finish. But repeat offences, that is a yellow card to you as well, my friend. But don't forget, this week, and we'll come back to it on Thursday, there is $5,500 up for grabs when you get involved with the Opta Max. Click the link in the description, scan that QR code that you can see on the screen right now and join the league and come and beat us. And don't forget, that Halloween video is coming out tonight. It's a red card for myself. Take care, all the best.
Like, what?
Chelsea! I knew you were there. I knew